In our last sitting, at least last couple of sittings, we've been looking at the concept of the various stages through which human mind-body system passes. And the Gurbani is taking the metaphor of somebody who goes out of the country for some business. And the term used is Vanjara. Vanjara literally defined means somebody who is doing some sort of business, some transactions.
Vanjara also means jada jaga gypsies move kar de dam hai. So
Yeah.
not necessarily some sort of business
Yes.
associated with this.
No. Vanj da matlab hai business hunda. See, why are they going from place to place? I mean, they are doing something, right?
Yeah.
They have to survive.
They survive, so they move from place to place and do some transaction. That's why they are called Vanjara.
So
Vanj.
purpose of moving is because of
Right.
business.
Right. Or you can say traveling salesman if that's a better term for you. But the concept is that human mind-body system changes the dimension from the beyond into physical form to do a transaction with a specific transaction in mind. But for some reason, and those reasons are the one which are discussed here, for some reasons very well understood, yet it falls into the trap and forgets the basic business for which the journey was taken. And those stages has been divided into four sections, 4 phases. So the first 2 hymns that we looked at were by first master, and this hymn is by the 4th master. But the topic is still the same, message is still the same. पहले पहरे रैन के वणजार्या mitra. Now, Peher, literally translated, is 1/8 of the day and night. It's a 3 hours duration. 4 पैर ਦਾ ਦਿਨ ਤੇ 4 ਪੈਰ ਹੋਣੇ, 8 ਪੈਰ ਪੂਰੇ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਨੇ. So, what does it mean? First Peher, the first stage of your journey. And Ran literally means the life, the journey. Raat, Ran literally translates as night, but here it means the journey of life. Pehle pehre ran ke vanjarya mitra. The first stage, oh my friend, is what? Har paya udhar manjhar. The Creator sent you through your mother. So you are now resting in the womb of your mother. Har paya udhar. Udhar literally translated as uterus. Manjhar literally means inside. With His will, and the modern mind might just make a joke out of it, but it is not. Think very seriously. When a male and a female are united physically, they have no clue that union will lead to another birth. They are completely oblivious. They don't know if it is going to happen, and they don't know if it has happened. And that's what is being pointed out here. that it is his will. The time of conception is his will. You don't know about it, you don't control it, you cannot direct it. Even today's science is helpless in that. Right? I mean, you read about in these artificial processes and how many times it fails, and they keep on trying out how many trials they have to do, the implantation and this and that, various injections or hormones to make sure that the uterus accepts the egg and the sperm, which is already, it is in the form of amoeba, but it does not accept it. So you have to be very, very refined in trying to understand it's not just a sweeping statement. Conception is not a human managed or human controlled phenomena. It has not been, it shall not be. The science can increase the probability. Today is 30% success rate, tomorrow it can be 50% success rate, but there will never be 100% success rate. It is impossible. It can't be. And that's why Gurbani in the very first line says, Har paya udhar mazhar. It's not you who did it. It's not your doing. You cannot take the credit for it. Humanity cannot take the credit for the perpetuation of the race. And the perpetuation of the race, whether it is a human, animal, birds or plants, process is exactly the same, which is male part, female part uniting together and then finding the right environment to grow. Whosoever is the carrier, if a bee carries the pollen from one plant to the other plant, and the other plant accepts the pollen, closes itself, and that pollen now starts becoming the flower. Process still remains the same. That's why Gurbani declared that Pando hi phand upjay bhandai baaj na koe nanak bhande bahera eko sacha soe. Even the female is born from a female. Pando hi phand upjay. And nothing can be produced in this universe without the feminine energy. Pande baaj na koe, except one. Nanak pande bahera, eko sacha soe. Nothing else is known. That's how the universal design is. And that is why Gurbani had said, feminine energy is not to be disrespected or condemned or subjugated or overpowered or enslaved or abused, because it is a integral and necessary part of the creation. It's Creator's design. That message has been lost, has remained lost, and still continues to be so. And now, in majority of, at least in India, I see it on the internet all the time. Now there is a campaign in the reverse order. Save the girl. One of the cartoons show one girl and 3 boys in 207, and then by 210, 1 female and 5 men, and then by 220, 1 female and 100 men And they are saying, are you sure you want to let this continue? Save the girl. Infanticide has become a curse in Indian and Chinese society. And the curse is because of the social evil of dowry. That's it. There's no other cause for it. So, manjar udhar, uterus, it is a necessity for this. And oh my friend, this is where your journey starts. From where? Inside the uterus. How? With his will, you are given that opportunity to start your journey. पहले पैरे राण के वणजार्या मित्र हर पाया उधर मंझार हर ध्यावे हर उचरे वणजार्या मित्र हर हर नाम समार. And he said, there is one thing observed by the Brahmagyani. And if you do not believe the Brahmagyani, you can ask the mother. She will tell you. Because she can feel that inside. How is this possible that the extreme heat of the body, all chemical reactions going on, and fire burning, and the body hung upside down, how does it survive? So let me tell you the secret. How did you survive? You survived because har dhyavai, haris uchre, vanjarya mitra, har har naam samar. Every moment that you were getting, which is what? Which is in the first hymn, Gurbani told us, urad tap kare vanjarya mitra. Urad tap, meaning thereby, as the mother breathes, you take the energy in, and your body system processes that energy, uses the energy to grow, and then expends it. But you are the one who is expending that. Mother is the one who is feeding it. While you expend it, you immediately thank him for that opportunity. You are in touch with it. Urad tap kare vanjarya. You are into his memory with every breath. Only outgoing, yet it is with every breath. And that's why har har naam jape aradhe, which agni har jap jeevya. It is that why a fire otherwise which would be intolerable by any stretch of imagination, you are surviving. Not only you are surviving, you are growing actually. The first few days of the inception, their growth rate is thousands of times from the individual size. How quickly it starts expanding. And how then it starts forming its various limbs. And how it starts developing the full body, which will become the vehicle. How is that possible? What fire we are talking about here? Our digestive system digests the food through the process of chemical reactions. All chemical reactions in such circumstances produce heat. That's what maintains the inside temperature at such a constant level. Outside world can be anything. Inside temperature must be maintained at, and you all know, if the temperature falls below, what happens? Body starts feeling cold. Then what happens? Jinu kehte kamba chhad gaya. What is this shivering? It's body's reaction to expand, contract fast so that it can generate the heat to compensate the loss of chemical heat. Body's temperature should not be brought down. And in that heat, not only that, the disposal of the body waste is also very next to the place where the child is growing. How miraculous that he is not infected by anything. That's one reason every doctor or every nurse knows that if the water breaks, you better not wait for too long. If a natural process is not working, get the child out. It is that environment Bani pointing out, har har anam jape arade, which Agni. How? Har jap jiveya. Despite such a corrosive environment, unfriendly environment, in that level of discomfort, you still stay in touch with the Creator whose will gave you this opportunity. And that's where a mystic is completely dumbfounded. Say, you did not forget there. Now you have all the comforts. Now you forget. How paradoxical. That's why Gurbani reminds us, says, Ram japo jiya aise aise, dhruv prahlad japeo har jaise. Gurbani is pointing out, say, think of those two small children. They were living in a house with the people who were supposed to raise them and protect them, but actually they were the very cause who were trying to kill them. And knowing that if they close their eyes for 1 minute and father may come and choke my throat, they didn't care. And what were they doing? Ram, 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 Ram. Now, if they did not forget it under such a terrifying environment where you have the fear of death every moment, what is your excuse? Do you also have the same problem that you may be killed overnight, that's why you can't sleep? Or is it that you have all the comforts of life, all the security of life, yet you do not think of the source, where it is coming from? You worry about the securities, but not the source. And Bani will point out that as we go along. He says, Har har naam jape ara de vich agni har jap jiveya, bahar janam bhaya mukh laga sar se pita mat thiveya. See, look what happens now. It's going to turn upside down in a single moment. Bahar janam bhaya. Now you are born, which is equivalent of what now you are going to get the comfort. That fear of choking environment is going to be over. You are now going to come out in a free space. And then what happened? Mukhalaga. What does it mean? Your parents saw you. वो तेरे मुंह लग गए. मुख लगना, to know for the first time. Bahar jana bhaya mukh laga. Your parents greet you sarse. Sarse means they are absolutely delighted. Who? Pita mat. The parents, after seeing you, are so delighted. A total unexpected thing happens, which is jiski vast tise cheto prani. This did not happen. The vast is there. Vast means that thing. You got that thing, and you are so much completely hypnotized by the thing that the source from where it came goes out of your mind completely. Jiski vast tise cheto prani. What should have been? You should have not become the focus at that moment. Who should have become the focus? The source where you came from. But that did not happen. Think about it. Kar hirde gurmukh vichar. Think about it. It's not too late. We can apply this thing right now. How? Because the things are coming in our way every moment, every day. Is it not? This glass of water is coming from where? प्यास लगी है जी, पानी ले लो. Does it remind us the source? Look at the model. Look at the message being given. It says, don't think about that moment only. This is happening every day of your life. You are being given these clothes, the beautiful clothes that you are wearing. And they are giving you the comfort, the soft, and the color to the eyes, and the softness to the touch. What is that thought comes in? Think about it. मैं करोल बाग गई सा, उत्थे आखी लगा सी भी बहुत ही सोहना कपड़ा, मैं ते उसे वेले ही पकड़ लिया. भाई भी सौदेबाजी कर लगा सी, मैं क्या भी मैं ते हुण पैसे ऐने ही देने हैं. अब देखना पैना है. Isn't that true? Does it happen at ever in any stage of life where all receiving these vastu, the goods?
Sometimes. Oh, sorry, I didn't hear.
Sometimes.
It's just sometimes, yes, but not mostly.
Yeah, we do hear. Think of sometimes.
Yeah, okay, good. Let it become a habit rather than just a luxury. Let it become a necessity. That's what Gurbani is saying. Jiski vas tise cheto prani. Remember the source, not the gift, but the giver. Kar hirde gurmukh vichar, kaho nanak prani pehle pehre, har japiye kirpa adhar. That is the time to start. The true time. And you, particularly the grandparents, better wake up. If you missed it, let not your offspring miss that opportunity also. Convince them that they need to. You know, that's why every sociologist say that is the third generation. Every third generation as the evolution moves. Very common sense logic. We are the first generation immigrants. We came, we worked hard like crazy, and we try to give our children what we did not have. So what's the reaction of the children? They forgot the hard work. So what are they going to do? They're going to spend it all off, and they're not going to pass anything on to their next generation. and the third generation going to come back and have to work hard again. इस करके कहते हैं राजे का पुत्र हमेशा चिड़ी मार ही बनता है, राइट? सारा दिन उसने की करना है, बंदूक लाके चिड़िया का शिकार करना. Whereas the father is sitting there trying to maintain his regime that he's going to pass on to him. You are the king of this. And what did he do all day? Hunt the sparrows. That's why Banprasth, according to the Hindu philosophy, Banprasth is the stage, right? Brahmacharya, Grist, and Banprasth. That's the third stage. What is the objective of the third stage? Make sure that the one who's in the first stage is mentored properly. It's a mentoring stage. Brahmacharya, getting ready stage. Grist, raising the family stage. Banprasth, mentoring stage. And Grist and the sannyas, the last stage. So it doesn't matter how you look at it, whether you look from this angle, that angle. It's a common sense thing. And what is the Gurbani pointing out? It says, Kaho Nanak, Prani Pehle Pehre Har Japiye. So get started. दूजे पहरे रहन के वन जा रहा मित्रा मन लागा दूजे भाई. Second stage. So the first stage was to be born, to be conceived, to be born. Second stage, becoming aware of the sensual pleasures. Sensual means the pleasures that come out of senses. So now you are becoming aware of it. As a child, what is the first thing the child starts liking? We all know. The very first thing that the child develops is the taste. बच्चे नू खीर बड़ी चंगी लगती है, मिठा बड़ा चंगा लगता है, isn't it? Candy बड़ी चंगी लगती है, sweet. What is happening? The taste buds are evolving. And as the taste buds keeps on growing, then the second thing starts evolving is the child's assertion as an individual identity. Hence the ego starts becoming supreme. Winning an argument, having the last word becomes a fixation with every teenager. Observe it. They want to have the last word. And that's the Duji stage, which is Duje Pehre Ran ke Vanjarya Mitra Man Laga Duje Bhaye Mera Mera Karpaliye Vanjarya Mitra Le Mat Pita Galalaye. So now what is happening? The parents know that the demand of the child is not very reasonable. But what is child doing? He's asserting himself. Mine, mine, mine. I'm sure Sahota Sahib is going to face that much sooner than most of them because they have two. Their mine is going to start right away between the two of them. This is mine. No, share. No, I'm not sharing. This is mine. And then what will happen? They'll buy two. And then another thing will happen. They will give one to that one and one to the other one. The other one say, no, give me that one. No, they are the same. No, I want that one. It's not just a child. For the first time when I went to India from America, I didn't know what to do with my relatives. So I had two sister-in-laws, both older to me. I bought a white sweater for the oldest and a little pinkish sweater for the younger one. Same store, same thing, same price, just two different colors. I landed in the home of the younger one. The older one sent her daughter, your chacha is here, go see him and ask him when he's coming on this side. So the younger one says, मेरे लिए की लेके आए? He said, Bhabhi, I brought a sweater for you. Show me. Yeah, well, okay, fine. So I take out the sweater, give it to her. Then she asked me, what did you लेके आए? Yeah, Bhabhi, it's the same sweater for her. Show me that too. She said, no, it's the same. Same price, same label, same company, everything same. दिखाते सही ना? Okay. But a रंग बड़ा चंगा है, ये मैंने दे दिया, उन्हें दे दे.
But that was no wrong, but that was white.
Now, to make the story interesting, older's daughter walks in. And she hears that story. I take the pinkish one and take it to the older one, and the daughter tells, well, Chachi ne jehda tere liye lianda si oh rakh liya. I am out of the sweater and the money, and both the bhabis are wrong. I am wrong and both are crying. They both are fighting with each other. And they both are blaming me that I treat one better than the other.
So next time you take the same color.
No, next time I didn't take any. And they said, ki leke aaya? Main kaha, paise.
कोई कुछ है.
Come with me to the shop and whatever you want to buy, you can buy. I'll stand outside. When you guys are done, I'll walk in and pay the bill. Now, I'm saying that this is not just a child. It is a human characteristic. Ego. It is mine. It is mine. That sensation stays with us all through our life. Not for a single moment to step back and say, what is the source? And that's what Bani is saying. Mera kar paliye. Vanjare mitra le mat pita gal laye. And eventually, no matter how unreasonable demand is, parents still say, I have gone through all of this, and today they are making so much sense. Even if I will tell my wife, this is not to be given to the child, we didn't have these luxuries. We don't want our children to suffer. We can afford it, so give it to him. Not remembering that those were not our luxuries to have, and these are not our luxuries to give. Not once. We can afford better. Our parents could not. Why should our children suffer like we did? What an arrogant model. What a thankless statement. मेरा कर पालिए वणजार्या मित्रा ले मात पिता गल लाए लावे मात पिता सदा गल सेती मन जाने खट खवाए. Whatever you ask for, the parents go, earn it, and then feed it to you. And what's happening here? Parents and the being parented both are oblivious of the source. How beautifully and candidly a mirror is being put in front of our faces and say, look into it. Do you not see yourself through this? Are you still going to deny it? What a word picture. जो देवे तिसे न जाने मूड़ा. ਦਿੱਤੇ ਨੂੰ ਲਪਟਾਏ. The one who's being the real giver, that giver is completely out of the memory, and what he is holding on to? ਦਿੱਤੇ ਨੂੰ ਲਪਟਾਏ. Mine, ਲਿਪਟਿਆ ਹੋਇਆ, ਕੁੱਟ ਕੇ ਪਕੜਿਆ ਹੋਇਆ ਕੀ ਹੈ? It's mine, it's mine. And Gurbani says, ਕਾਕੀ ਮਾਤ ਪਿਤਾ ਸੁਤ ਬਨਤਾ ਕੋ ਕਾਹੂ ਕੋ ਭਾਈ. Neither the wealth, nor the health, nor the relations, nor anything else is really your creation. They are all a gift to you from the beyond. And the gratefulness to the beyond, memory of the beyond isn't anywhere close to you. Jo deve tise na jane. Kaun? Muda. Muda means the one who doesn't understand. Ditte nu lapataye. He is holding on to the gift. Koi gurmukh hove so kare vichar har dhyave man liv laye. So they are rare people who listen to the Guru. The word coming from Guru, that's Gurmukh. Koi Gurmukh hoye, some rare one. So kare vichar, who steps back from this and think about it, what I am doing. And then what happens? Har dhyave, man liv laye, kaho nanak duje pehre prani, tis kaal na kabhu khaye. That rare one frees himself from the bondage of the space and time. But those who are, they continue in that model, and then what happens? ਤੀਜੇ ਪਹਿਰੇ ਰਹਿਣ ਕੇ ਵਣਜਾਰਿਆ ਮਿੱਤਰਾ ਮਨ ਲੱਗਾ ਆਲ ਜੰਜਾਲ ਧਨ ਚਿਤਵੇ ਧਨ ਸੰਚਵੇ ਵਣਜਾਰਿਆ ਮਿੱਤਰਾ ਹਰ ਨਾਮਾ ਹਰ ਨਾ ਸਮਾਲ. This is what's going on with you, which is ਤੀਜੇ ਪਹਿਰੇ. So now the childhood is gone, the teenage is gone, and the youth is here. And what's happening in that youth? Man laga al janjal. Now why it is a janjal? Remember the story of Billi na Palana? Every action that you do becomes a deeper bondage. है ना? जंजाल बनता जाता है. वो जाल क्यों बनता जाता है? They're thinking that I am solving something. I'm solving the problem. मैं बिल्ली लियांदी है, चूहे नहीं होने चाहिए. मैं गां लियांदी है, बिल्ली भुखी ना मरे. मैं खेत खरीदया है, गां भुखी ना रह जाए. मैं विआह कीता है, खेतां नूं कोई वेख सके. मैं बच्चे पैदा कीते ने कि बुढ़ापे च साडे दोवां दा कोई ख्याल कर सके. लियांदी तो कली बिल्ली सी. That's called janjal. Trying to solve a problem without thinking that it is creating a higher level of more complex problem. And it keeps on going, and how it does? Dhan chitve, dhan sanjay. The thinking process is, I need money. Why? I need to eat. Okay. So I go out and I get some money to eat. On the way back, when I'm going to get something to eat, a thought comes. What if I lose this? Then I will not be able to eat. I better buy the insurance for this, so that if I lose this, I can use my insurance. So I had $10, I bought $10 insurance. Now I got $20. Now losing the $10 were much easier than losing all the 20. Oh, now what happens if I lose all 20? Well, I got the answer for you. Buy the insurance. So I go buy the insurance for 20. And now I have to worry about 40. What if I lose 40? I'll sell you the insurance for 42.
Don't look at me. Everybody's looking at me like I'm sorry.
That is not bad insurance.
I know, but they're all looking at me.
But you see the message. To protect that $10, you go on a journey. And as you cover the $10, the risk also covers with it. It keeps on growing. So where will you stop? I have $1 billion. What if I lose all of it? I better have 2. So that if I lose the first $1 billion, I still have $1 billion to spend. But losing does not know that I have to stop losing, only getting $1 billion from you. When the loss starts, it takes all of that. So now it has the possibility of taking all the $2 billion away. And that's what Bani is saying here. Dhan chitve, dhan sanchave. When he thinks of the wealth, and then he feels insecure about the wealth, what does he do? He keeps on piling wealth on the top of wealth, on the top of the wealth, so that he always has some wealth. And suddenly he discovers that I never have enough wealth. I will never have wealth. Somebody wrote just a recent an article that majority of the retirees who planned their retirement so and they were so secure until this year. The energy cost, food cost alone is eating their entire retirement, and they have nothing to worry, take care of their medical bills anymore. So what are they doing? They're getting sicker faster, and they are not going to the doctors because there is nothing to pay for it. A planning done 60 years went down the tube in 60 minutes. Wealth can never be the security for anything. It just so happens that some people can just boast about it. See, I did planning and my 401k and my retirement plan and my this. I'm all set. No, you will never be set. And you don't know that you are set, because you can be upset in a single minute. But you don't think about that. What you keep on doing? Dhan chitve, dhan sanchave. Solution to the whole life problem is have more money. Find a way of making more money. And then what happens? When you are in that race, har nama har na samal. You will have absolutely no freedom or time to think about him. It's impossible, because that rat race is so absorbing. That's what is called a quicksand, dal. And the quicksand has a quality to it. If you step into it and then you realize it's a quicksand and you're going to try to push yourself up, and the quicksand has a quality, more you push, more it goes down. It shifts automatically. No matter how much padding is around, it doesn't care, it shifts. The only way to get out of this is to use somebody else who's out on a firmer ground, help to pull you out. And so Gurbani is saying, that's the third stage of the human journey. Think about it. तीजे पहरे रहन के बन जा रहा मित्रा, मन लग्गा आल जंजाल, धन चितवै धन संचवै बन जा रहा मित्रा, हर नामा हर ना समाल. You would not be able to. And you can talk to any young man particularly, or a newly married couple, or a couple with the first child. Try to talk to them and see what their response is. Much less, my experience is that we have all the same response no matter what age you are in. अजी हुण की करिए, फिर हुण भज जाइए, जिम्मेवारियां छड्ड दईए, हुण की करिए, फिर करना तो पैंदा ही है ना, संसार है. अरे भाई वो करना तो पैंदा है, और नाम कदों जपना है, हुण समा मिलूगा तो तां ही ना, फिर हुण की करिए जी. And Gurbani says, imagine if you had put that foundation down in the first stage. Do you think that would be a problem now? Absolutely not. हर नामा हर हर कदे न समाले, जय होवे अंत सखाई, एह धन संपै माया झूठी, अंत छोड़ चलिया पछताई. In a sane moment, sitting in an environment like this, it makes perfect sense. केड़ी कि इसने तो किसे कोई नाल लेके थोड़ी आया जी, खाली आए हैं खाली जाना है. And we all talk like that. Nobody came with it, nobody's going to take anything with it. It makes perfect sense. But if that's the case, it is the same kind of paradox that a Jnani who is sitting on the stage और तुहानू कह रहा जी लालच ना करया करो, ते अपना ओदा ध्यान वाजे तो ऊपर उठदा ही नहीं कि भी इत्थे पैसे किन्ने इकट्ठे होए. ते जदों उन्हें जाना है, उन्हें ज्ञानियां ने प्रबंधकां नाल ओ बहसां करनियां है, साडा किराया पूरा नहीं होया जी, साडे खर्चे नहीं निकले जी, सानू पैसा होर दिओ जी, असीं बच्चे पालने हैं जी. Those who are inside, they can tell you the horror stories about those, how they deal with this. हमारे तुसीं हुणे दे अंदर कह के आए हो लालच ना करया करो. आहो जी, फिर हुण की करिए, बच्चे भी तो पालने हैं ना. फिर then they come up with the stories like, अजी घोड़ा घाह नाल दोस्ती कर ले, फिर खाएगा की ना, भी घाह नाल दोस्ती ना कर, तू घाह नाल दुश्मनी कर. जे तुहाडे कोल ना मंगीए दे. I mean, it is a dialogue between us. If we don't ask him for this, he is our father, so shouldn't a child ask from the father? No. Father is telling you that is a wrong habit to fall in. So stop arguing. Ask for something, kedi. जे अंते जे होवे अंत सखाई, something that's going to help you in the beyond. Ask for that. ये धन संपे माया झूठी. This one that you are asking for is not going to help you. छोड़ चलेया पछताई. And then that moment there's no time left. जिसनु कृपा करे गुर मेले, सो हर हर नाम समाल, कहो नानक तीजे पहरे प्राणी, से जाए मिले हर नाल. Those who have understood it, internalize it and implement it, what they do? So har har naam samal. They collect that wealth. Kiss the Harinam de. And if they do that, kaho nanak tije rahe prani, se jaye mile har naal. They eventually are able to get to the ultimate stage for which this body was given to us. And if you don't, now come the last stage. चौथे पहरे रहन के वन जा रहा मित्रा हर चलन वेला आदि चर दरहाल दीवाने बुलाया तुर फरमान दरगह का आया. Now the last message. And when that message comes, it has a finality to it. It has uncompromising. Even if you say, allow me 5 minutes more and I'm ready to go with you, you will not get 5 seconds more. It's such a finality. That's it. So, keep that in mind. It is a har challan vela yandi. This moment is absolutely uncompromisable. कर से वो पूरा सदगुरु बन जा रहा मित्र सब चली रहन विहांदी. And remember, it is not an exception for anyone. Sab chale. Everyone is going to go through that final journey, final process. No one is exempt under any circumstances. Even a Brahmajnani would have to leave the body and eventually pass on. हर से वो खिन खिन ढिल मूल न करो जित अस्थिर जुग जुग हो वो हर से ती सदमाने और अलियां जन्म मरण दुख हो वो. हर से वो खिन खिन. The word here is kin. Kin means every moment or every breath. ढिल मूल न करो. Don't postpone it. Don't become lazy about it. Jit asthar jug jug hovo. If you do that, then you are transcending the bondage of time. Yuga. You are transcending that. Asthir means you will not be moving around the time. Har se ti sadmano raliyan. Then you will be in that Sat Chit Anand stage. There will be in a state of eternal bliss. Why? Because Janma Marana Dukhovo. You have gone beyond the cycle of life and death. Gur Satgur Swami Ped na jano jit mil har bhakt sukhaandi kaho nanak prani chauthe pehre safaleo rain bhaktandi. Har Satgur Swami Bhed na jano. Try to understand this secret. It is not a human creation. It is the eternal, it's Satguru creation. Understand that secret, and once you do that, then Jit Melhar Bhagat Sukhandi. Those Bhagat who have gone on that path, you can see their total life journey, how blissful it was. Kaho nanak prani chauthe paireo safaleo rain bhaktandi. If you listen to the message, then the final stage would be like the stage as it was for all of the saints, all the Bhagat. So listen to the message. Don't fall into the trap of getting lost into the senses, getting lost into the message that I can create more security myself by creating, whether it's wealth, whether it's the power, whether it's the politics, whether it's whatever else. It just doesn't work. It's not going to work. It hasn't worked for anybody till now. That's why we quote Alexander all the time. That after conquering all the known world at that time, he couldn't get back home to enjoy that feeling. He died on the way. Couldn't get back. That's why he gave the message that when I am being taken back into my regime, make sure my hands are out of my coffin. And that was the last message from him, that he thought that after conquering the world, he will be living the happiest possible life on this earth. Nothing could be further from the truth. It just doesn't happen. So that concludes this hymn.